I wanted to try to build something that everyone could build and you didn't have to have a welder to build it. So that's kind of why I went with a bolt-on system. So you guys can build exactly what I did here. Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping in. I'm Justin. In today's video, I'm gonna be changing this chute. And I'm gonna explain why I wanna do that. And I'm gonna show you different examples where it's causing me a lot of problem having that grass just blow out on my patio, on my building, on my driveway. I'm gonna see if I can create a solution and not have to clean up every time that I mow my yard. I'm gonna jump into some examples of why I think every mower should have an advanced chute system. Whether you call it a blocker, advanced chute system, which I think is a company that makes it for Bad Boy, or just a mulching kit, however you wanna put it. I have mulching blades on here and I think it's gonna work out really well for me once I get that blocker put on. So let's take a closer look. Now let's take a look at that area. When I come down this way, I'm blowing a bunch of grass into my mulch bed. And that doesn't look that great. You can see leftover old grass right here. You can see where I pile new grass every time. That's when I'm coming from there, coming down this way, it's shooting it out and putting it this way. Then when I turn around and I'm going this way, this is what it does to the patio. So that's example number one, why I think I need to change that chute to something where it blocks it off and it's not covering up my patio and my mulch beds. Example number two is over here at this building. When I'm mowing, I can go this way when I come around it and it blows it into that little ditch line. But when I come back the other way, it blows it up. If those doors are open like they are right now, it blows it into the building. And I got more examples out here around the garden. Same thing's going on there. Around all this tree line that we have got planted all the way down our property line. I have to mow a special mow. Like I have to keep going in the same direction on each side of those trees to keep from covering them up with a bunch of grass. And I would really like to be able to stripe my yard so when I go on down and I come back in the other direction, I can lay down those stripes and make it look better. That's the biggest reason why I'm building this grass blocker or advanced chute system, whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to show you how you can build one also. It's not going to cost you a bunch of money, but if you want to save yourself some time and you just want to go get it off of Amazon, I'll have a link in the description below. You can buy it from there. And if you do purchase something from Amazon, when you click that link, it helps my channel out, helps support the channel. And I want to say thank you for that. So let's look down the building right now. You can see where I've blowed grass on it in the past, but look at this door right now. There's nothing on it. I have to clean it all the time. And I have to blow off the side of this building constantly. Now I'm going to take a run down that side and kind of show you why I think this is going to be a good upgrade to your mower. Look at the grass that is throwing all up on the side of my building. And this grass is not extremely tall, and it's causing a mess. Now that you understand why I need that grass blocker, let's go ahead and get started and let's get it built. You can pick this up at like Tractor Supply or Roll King. This is about 25 bucks. This is gonna make a lot more than just this one item. I'm actually making a striping kit. So if you're interested in seeing me build that striping kit, make sure to subscribe to the channel and tap that little notification bell so you get notified when I put out new videos. And that should be coming pretty soon. And I will be using this as some material. I'll see if I can find a link for that one. You may have to look around at your local like farm or equipment places. They may have this mat right here. The other materials you're gonna have to have is a piece of angle iron And this you could buy off of Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below. You may be able to find this cheaper locally if you have a place where you can buy angle iron. This is flat steel. This is 1.25 inches. This is 2 inch. So you're coming from this corner to that corner is 2 inches. And then from this corner to this corner is 2 inches. And you're gonna need 7 of these. So you got 7 bolts, 7 nuts, and 14 washers. And these are 1.25 inches. That's all you're gonna need to make your grass blocker. I'm gonna start taking this apart. We're gonna leave this bracket on. We're gonna take these bolts out. We're gonna reuse these. The way I wanted to design this was take this off. So if I wanna put it back on, all I gotta do is take 2 bolts out. That bolt there and that bolt there. I'll build brackets that will go back into those areas and it will reuse those bolts. So I got nearly 41 inches. I actually got 40 and 7/8. And because one's gonna be on one side of this flap and the other side, we're just gonna cut it right in half. This will serve as our top plate to our pad. How we're gonna determine how wide we're gonna cut that piece of mat. No matter what mower you're doing this way, you'll need to measure from the bottom of the deck to the top of the deck, right? This one is 5 1/4. Now, we want a lot for space for this to come in, or 1/8 of an inch, so when it closes, this doesn't rattle while you're mowing. So, we're gonna raise this up 1/8 of an inch, and because we know this metal is 1.5 inches, we need to add that 5 1/4, 1.5 inches. That gives us 6 3/4, and then we'll add another 1/8 of an inch. So that gives us that 6 7/8. And then we'll place this metal right on top. It'll give us an 1/8 inch gap between the deck and this metal, so we don't have a lot of flapping. And it should sit kind of like that right there, the same width as this. And our black flat will be right here. Do not use a T-square for squaring off, thinking this edge is a factory square edge. It's not. The way I'm gonna use it is I'm gonna make my mark. Then I'll make my mark. I'll set my T-square in. I may go as far as clamping this down as well and then making my cut. I'm gonna leave about 1/8 of an inch, like this right here on this corner, because if I hit something, I have room for compression. If I put this all the way out to the end and I hit something, it could damage my entire bracket. So let's see if we got it right. We're gonna take a measurement from here to here. That should be 5 3/8, or something very close to it. So 1/8 down, right there on the corner. Awesome. And you want to remember why we had that. We wanted that 1/8 inch gap right here, and then we got that 5 1/4 up to that, and we gotta have an 1/8 inch gap so it doesn't make that rattle noise. What we're doing with this is we're gonna take this width here, 1.5. We're gonna make 1.5 cut, 1.5 cut. The rest of that angle iron, we're gonna have for another project. And that's gonna be used for the striping kit that I'm gonna build for this mower as well. So ultimately what we're getting is a $250 advanced chute system, or let's just say $150, because we're not gonna have the handle on this build here, and then a striping kit of $150. So we're getting $300 worth of items added onto this mower for about 40 bucks. So let me explain where we're gonna put this bracket. We wouldn't wanna do it like that and then have it close up like this, because see how it's hitting and we're at a little bit of an angle? We want to turn that bracket around like this, allot for enough room, 1/8 of an inch, for this to be put back in its spot. So that way when we close up, we got a straight 90 up and down. All right, so I ground off a good 3/8 of an inch, maybe a 1/2 inch, because what was happening, I needed 2 inches to go this way, but I really needed 1.5 inches to come this way. And we had a 2x2. So if you could find 1.5 inches by 2, it'd be perfect. But you can always grind it down if you have a grinder. But you'll see once I put it up here, right there was hitting back here on this lip. And we need to get it up to about right there. So when we go to find our boat hose, we're not hitting this back peg. I don't want it to do any type of fabrication to anything that's on this factory deck. So I'm just trying to make sure that we get everything operating correctly around this. What I'm gonna do now is drill these holes and then put the other boats into this. I don't think we're gonna need 7 boats. I think we're gonna need 3 more, 1, 2, 3. So I renege on saying 7 of these boats. We would do 5 of these boats. It wasn't extremely hard or anything to make, and it was pretty fun actually. It's a good little project if you want to create you one on the weekend. It operates just like the other flap or the kick out. It'll stay up on its own. It's not going to fall down. I mean, when you hit bumps, it's not going to fall down, okay? It operates just like the original Shootout. But now we have a grass blocker. Now we don't have that big stick. I don't like that big stick sticking up anyway because it gets in my way when I'm operating. I get on and off the mower a lot. When you're up here, you can just give it a little kick and it's good to go. Now I'm gonna take this back out in those same areas. I'm gonna guess that this is gonna solve that problem. Hardly blew any grass into the mulch bed and almost nothing onto the patio. Because we mowed that earlier, and even though I put my blade down a little bit lower on that one, I'm gonna go do some tests down that property line and out around the garden and see how effective it really is. So that was very effective because this was the area that we mowed down the garden, and you can see there's almost no grass other than the grass I need to pull out of here, but there's no grass shavings down through here. And on the tree line, we started mowing and shot it out this way. But usually what happens, I shoot it out this way when I come back and then go down that way again and keep shooting it out that way. Well, this time I went down, shot it out and come in this way, and it didn't shoot anything into the trees. I'll be honest, I wasn't sure if it was gonna work that great because how these blades set, they're off the ground anyway. So you can see there's a gap here, and I was thinking that the grass is just gonna blow right through there. So I was very hesitant of going out and buying a grass blocker or an advanced chute system because I thought that it may blow grass out of the bottom of it, but if you don't have the tools to build this, you can easily buy one off of Amazon. I wanted to try to build something that everyone could build, and you didn't have to have a welder to build it. So that's kind of why I went with a bolt-on system. So you guys can build exactly what I did here. Let me show you inside of that, and let's see if it clogged up. Let's look at how fine it mulched that up, and look at the seed in there. Those are the blades that I'm currently running. The verdict on that grass blocker is 100% effective, and I would recommend, if you don't have one, build yourself one. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the thumbs up button. It really helps me out, and I really appreciate it a lot. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll catch you guys in the next project.